Hey, did you see this Wall Street Journal headline this week? House votes to create special Benghazi panel. Pretty straightforward, but there's something missing. Missing are the 4 men who died on September 11th of 2012. Ambassador Christopher Stevens, Sean Smith, Glenn Doherty, and Tyrone Woods. These are the men who were killed during the attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi. They're becoming a footnote in the fight on Capitol Hill as Republicans push the idea that the White House lied to the American people, while Democrats say there was no plan to deceive. But the headline talks about a House committee approved to look into the attack and the aftermath. Now, since the GOP runs the House, they get to make the rules, and one of them is dividing the panel up unevenly with 7 Republicans and 5 Democrats. Democrats, fearing that there'll be a little more than window dressing in this drama, may decide just to sit this one out. Here's Nancy Pelosi's take.
The fact is this is a stunt. This is a political stunt. And the fact that, ISA just is damaged goods. They had to move from him to another venue with another chairman. That's what this is. We've been there, done this over and over again.
My next guest is the former White House counsel in the Clinton administration and author of the book Crisis Tales: 5 Rules for Coping with Crises in Business, Politics, and Life. Lanny Davis is here. Lanny, I think the administration needs to acquire a copy of your book because in one crisis situation after another, they are not telling it early, they are not telling it all, and they're not telling it themselves.
It's very strange when you have facts on your side that are positive facts in answer to the central partisan political charge, which is what this is about, as you correctly stated, charging the White House with deception and cover-up. From the very beginning, they had the answer in their possession, which are 14 drafts of the talking points where the controversial phrase that this horrible tragedy began with a, quote, spontaneous demonstration triggered by protests in Cairo, which we all know was part of a general reaction throughout the Middle East to the anti-Muslim video. Republicans are on record from the very beginning accusing the Obama White House of inventing that phrase, spontaneous demonstration, in order to minimize their not seeing that it was a terrorist attack and trying in the middle of a presidential campaign to cover that up. We now know that the CIA wrote that phrase from the very first draft of the talking points to the 14th draft. The White House had those 14 drafts, could have put that out immediately. Susan Rice might be Secretary of State rather than letting her twist in the wind, but the White House sat on that for 9 months. And that's an example of where you have the facts, you don't put them out, you sit on them, looks like you're covering something up. And with all due respect, I would say to the Obama White House, let's learn that lesson. And to my friend Nancy Pelosi, who I've known for years, let's learn that lesson about how we react to this circus-like hearings that this new committee will be holding.
And now the Ben Rhodes email, and you and I are agreeing, I'm sure, on the fact it should have been produced. It's
oh my
not
gosh.
significant. As I read it, Lanny, it's not significant for what it says, but rather for the fact that it wasn't produced sooner. Do you agree with that characterization?
Absolutely. And it reminds me, without now criticizing anyone in the White House, sometimes you just don't produce things because some lawyer says, well, it's not quite about Benghazi, and the lawyers get cute. And that's been one issue in every White House, not just this White House. It was the reason I criticized the White House counsel for not telling Barack Obama about the IRS scandal till after it broke. It's legal thinking. Here you have an email that is general about the widespread reaction to the protests relating to the video. But it was put out in the context of trying to brief someone for a talk show on the Sunday morning talk shows. Of course it related to Benghazi, but it wasn't about Benghazi, it was about the broad reaction to the video. Why hold that back? I would even make the argument, even if it's not quite about Benghazi, and you can legalistically say we don't need to produce it, for goodness sakes, it's going to look like you were holding it back. It's a good document. Put it out.
3 quick things, if I can run through them. Yes or no, should the Democrats now participate in this new committee process relative to Benghazi?
Absolutely yes, and I ask you back a question. Does it ever make sense to let the other guy have a one-sided argument while you have all the facts? Makes no sense whatsoever. I would be in their face, challenging them every time. Who wrote the phrase spontaneous demonstration? The White House covering up, or the CIA and a 30-year professional, Mike Morrell, saying, we wrote that because we genuinely thought in the early stages we were wrong, that was the message.
30 seconds on two other matters. The VA hospital scandal. From a crisis management standpoint, what needs to happen?
The secretary should be in front of Congress, and every document and every email relating to this problem of not taking care of our veterans should be put out in a full-scale document production.
Finally, I'd be derelict in my duty, I know you don't like talking about it, in not asking for a response about Ms. Lewinsky's essay in Vanity Fair. Where do you think that comes from? Why now?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about this subject because of respect for the private life of the Clintons, and certainly this has been dealt with over and over again. I've never had anything but sympathy for Ms. Lewinsky from the very first day, but I also believe that this is a subject that's in her private life that she should get on with, and that I don't want to get into it any longer. It's been fully litigated. Judgments have been made by the American people to forgive weaknesses in private life on all stages, and that's really all I would like to say.
Lanny, good to see you as always. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
You remember the headline we started with? House votes to create special Benghazi panel. You know how I would have written it? Benghazi is the new abortion, meaning it's being used to drive the base.